Why do you believe what you believe? Because at some point in your life, you trusted the information that somebody was giving you. And that someone you trusted told you that a car was a car, a tree was a tree, a bird was a bird, the blue stuff above you is the sky. And that's the way that we began to determine what we believe to be a fact. Most of the things that we believe to be a fact in our lives are told to us through our stories or the news that we hear. So my question would be, if they were deceiving you with the stories they tell you, would you be able to recognize that?
Hey, everybody, welcome. It's Tuesday night, 4/30/2024, and you are watching The Way We See It right here on the FFN network. I am one of your hosts, ladies and gentlemen, Blaze Man, and the rest of the team will be joining me pretty soon. So, with that being said, there is a lot to talk about, and one of our main concerns, well, it's not a concern, I shouldn't say concern, is one of the things we're reporting is, is Gaza moving into Colombia? I mean, we know some of the, some of the things that are going on there, some of the things that are being said, they're breaking into buildings, and it's just, a little bit, something we need to talk about. That being said, we're going to talk about a little bit of Trump and the Stormy Daniels trial and things to that nature. We are also going to cover the sad story about the police officers, the four that that got shot down. With that being said, let's bring on some of the boys, and I'll bring on one of my main boys, and that's my boy, Mr. D.
Hi, Blaze. Hello.
What's happening, brother? How are you today?
I'm ready. I'm ready to make it happen, man.
All right. We're ready to get it done tonight? Okay. And let's bring in, you want to introduce this character, bro, and Mr. I know you can't handle the long pronounced one with the other guy, but you can introduce your boy if you want to.
Would that be my fellow soldier?
Yes, sir.
Bring him in. Bring him in. He's real simple.
Get him nice and loud, bro. Get it nice and loud.
Come on, Downey. You're the next contestant. Bring that fool in here.
I'm the next contestant on what? Knuckleheads Anonymous? What? Knuckleheads talking and clap? No, man. Whatever. I don't need an introduction, bro. I'm just here for
that's my, this is Donald, ladies and gentlemen. Donald, we refer to Donald as like the money man, the guy that will say, hey, what are you talking about? The guy who will say, look, there's nothing we can do about it unless we vote and, and things. And you guys are going to get a kick out of Donald because he's always got, always makes sense, always fixes the problem when it comes to what we're talking about. But
he fringes on. No, he fringes on the Rain Man.
Absolutely. There's one guy that we have on the show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you. I mean, the women chase him around like there's no tomorrow, okay? And we say that only because we can, because his wife don't watch the show. She's not into politics, So, ladies and gentlemen, there's only one guy. He's from New Hampshire. He knows there was 3 governors, but he only knows there was one, right? And this guy is Mr. B. What's up, buddy? What's happening, bro? What's going on, B, baby? What's happening?
He gets a bell for just showing his
right.
Looks.
He gets a
bell.
How
we doing, gentlemen? How we doing? What a wonderful evening we got. Come over here in Epping, New Hampshire, with 3 of the Hampshire governors, of which I know one, Prescott. The other 2, they're in the dirt. They'll wait. Okay, we can find out sometime later about that.
So this Prescott guy, is the reason why you remember him is because he was good at his job, or you voted for him? Or
no, I remember him because that's the road off of where I live, is Prescott Road. So that's the only reason why I remember this guy.
All right, well, you narrowing you down now, B.
Yeah, but you understand, there's 2 Prescott Roads in Epping. So.
That's all right. I got 2 vehicles.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, listen, the FFN network's been around for like 4 years now. Since the pandemic started, I decided to create a network.
Longer if you smell his socks.
Yeah, with that being said, look, Donald, okay, he's going to swing his golf club like you're about him to see that right now, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to fade in and out of the camera. But when I trust us, ladies and gentlemen, when we tell you, when he's on his point and and he's driven at what he wants to talk about, you'll see his mug just like you see it right there.
Well, Blake, I'm getting bored, man. Come on, let's go.
Oh, yeah, see, he's getting bored too,
Maybe we can get somebody to call in and give Donnie some pointers on his golf swing and stuff.
Hey, I'd appreciate that so much.
You could absolutely call
in.
And
ladies and gentlemen, if you listen real close, you can hear the banjos.
Right? What
you talking about,
Banjos, he says. Banjos. Hey, listen, ladies and gentlemen, you can give the show a call at 508-974-4231 if you want to discuss anything that's going on. Listen, we're not going to, hang up on a liberal. We're not going to hang up on anybody that disagrees with anything we have to say because that's part of the process. And that's why the name of the show is called The Way We See It. You know what I mean? So, and that's the deal with that. Oh, gee, but somebody's calling.
Here we are right now.
I don't know what's going on.
It's got to be because I'm showing some of this.
It's Tiger Woods.
Hey, you're on the air with The Way We See It on the FFN network. How can we help you this evening?
Marcel, how you doing?
Is anybody there? Speak up, or Febo. Oh, they hung up. They hung
up the call.
They hung up. So,
whatever.
Donnie, would you like to kick this off?
Where are we kicking off? That the violence from the Middle East is now in a Columbia University. It's in your doorstep. It's in front of your face now. What is that? What we're kicking off?
It is. That's what we're kicking off, my brother.
Yeah, you sound like you got a little rhythm in you, like bad boys, bad boys.
Well, listen, guys,
I'm just saying, it's in your face now.
Excuse me for 1 second, Donald. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Look, we have a new audience in X, okay? Because we just started our affiliation with X, formerly known as Twitter. And if we could just throw out a little bit of credentials. I am Blazeman, one of the hosts. I operate the FFN network. And if you guys could just introduce yourself to our new crowd in X, and we appreciate all you guys and gals that are watching us right now. So Donnie, could you just a little bit of background?
Name's Donald, and appreciate you tuning in, man. Have you connect, appreciate it. Go Demons.
Hello, Elon Musk, Mr. Swine Technician here, retired. I'm just Mr. B. I put that up there, that Mr. Swine Technician. I was a little pig farmer, and I just want to catch that little thing to the viewing audience out there. You work a little hard, you'll get good things in this country. And I truly believe in that. And that's all I got. Thank you, Blaze.
You got it, pal. Mr. B.
There was a little pig and there was a little farm. Hi, everybody. Your old friend, Mr. B here. Epping, New Hampshire, home of 3 of the Hampshire's governors. We've got a 4-person panel we're talking about tonight, and I myself have a show tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, followed by I-12 GIA group. We've got the content that nobody else has, and everybody should want. Tune in, see it, and you're not going to believe how good it is here. Stick with it.
All right. So go ahead, Donald. We're going to open up with Gazza, Colombia. And again, ladies and gentlemen, Donald and Mr. D do have a background and was in country, at the time. So they're familiar with the area. They're familiar with, the culture a little bit. So with that being said, Donald, go ahead, pal.
I just don't. What do we expect is going to really happen out of all these protests? The way they're going in and they're forcing themselves into buildings. You go and you tear things up. That protest you're no different than the terrorist organization that you're crying and you want to lead you again. You're no different. Gangs, cartels, Hells Angels, boxer gangs, criminal activity, mob bosses, terrorist groups, they're all the same to me. You use fear and violence to try to get your way. And that's exactly what they're doing right now. So why should everybody feel bad when you go in there? I sent y'all that video where that dude got snatched up over here in Austin. Once you start becoming a burden and impeding everybody else, your protest is no longer peaceful. It is now criminal. Accept the charges. You're wanting them to divest. That goes nowhere. Yeah, it has no business to that. It's not going to happen. So stop tearing up what's in front of you and start really trying to do something about maybe living together and understanding that there needs to be some kind of, mutual respect. And I'll yield it to you guys.
Well, go ahead, B. He's a little delayed today.
I genuinely appreciate your input, AC. However, these people don't give a fiddler's fart about decorum or whatever else. They want to get their agenda pushed forward. They're here to take and infiltrate and subrogate and be subversive to our society. If this were anything else, I mean, look what happened on the January 6th thing or whatever else. These people have done far more damage to the institution and more institutions around the country. And what are these people doing? Nothing more than law enforcement is pussyfooting around doing what needs to be done. And it's letting it just get worse and worse and worse. These people don't give a fiddler's fart. And what do they want to do now? Oh, now they want to negotiate. These are the acts of terrorists. And I don't care if they're the age of school students or just students, my ass. Not protesting, but the minute you did things, damaged building and so forth, and became violent and aggressive to other people, and you're saying things that you want to kill Jews, you want to kill America, you are no longer protesting. You are terrorists and need to be dealt with in that respect. I yield the floor.
Well, for me, I don't think, and I've said this quite a few times.
I don't see an H for you, Blaze.
Yeah, the host don't need one. Anyways, what I was gonna say is that I don't think, and I've been saying it on the show for a while now, is that I don't think like more than half these kids have no idea what they're up there for, or what they're doing, or what they're protesting, or anything. I truly don't. I don't think so. So. Let's watch a little bit of video, something we have here, give everybody an idea. Well, everybody knows pretty much what's going on, but...
Wow, so wait, we're going to blow our load right now?
What's that?
We're going to video? I thought we were still talking.
Yeah, we're going to video right now.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'm a little stoned.
All right. Wow. Okay. Here we go, folks.
Hundreds of demonstrators taking over Hamilton Hall on the campus of Columbia University in New York City this morning. Take a look. The video showing the protesters barricading entrances to the building, then hanging a Palestinian flag out of a window. This all part of those Gaza war demonstrations taking place on college campuses nationwide, including there at Columbia. The protesters taking over the hall nearly 12 hours after Monday's 2 p.m. deadline for those demonstrators to leave an encampment of around 120 tents or face suspension. Columbia's public safety issuing a statement saying that members of the university community who can avoid coming to the campus should do so, excluding essential personnel. A school spokesperson told our Fox 5 New York team that suspensions had already started, but did not provide any additional details. I do want to talk more about the situation there on campus, as some lawmakers have said these are anti-Semitic protests. I want to bring in Kaya Droznik, a Jewish student at Columbia University, to talk more about the situation on campus. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today.
Thank you.
All right, well, first off, describe for me what you see as you look at these videos and you see the situation there on campus, most notably those demonstrators actually taking over one of the buildings there.
Yeah, it was a very terrifying. I was actually there. It's a very hostile environment. It's not an educational environment anymore. They've taken over the campus, and the university has lost complete control over this campus. And yeah, I think a lot of students just feel very unsafe. The campus is currently on lockdown, and yeah, people can't access their the essential services that they need on campus, and they can't access their dining halls because of this group of people that decided to take control of campus.
And some lawmakers and city
Guys, if I could ask real quick, okay? Isn't this type of see my cursor? Isn't this type of style of a headdress?
Yes.
Okay, does anybody know what that represents? Because I've been looking at it and I've been seeing a lot of them coming on, and during protests, and all of a sudden I'm starting to see these around the neck or up around the head. So
It's just clothing, Blaze.
it's just clothing.
No,
Yeah.
but there is
Because
no there.
everything I ever watched, you know what I mean, and as far as the Middle Eastern stuff, you see a lot of these dudes wearing that shit. So
Yeah, but there's no significance to the pattern like you're asking.
how is
It's a
there
piece
not
of
any
clothing.
significant to the pattern? If
It
they're
doesn't mean anything. It's
dressing up like that, you don't think that they're trying to represent that?
I believe, if I may step in,
Go ahead,
I
B.
believe there is a certain pattern that is, if you will, like a tribal pattern indicative of persons that is used to indicate persons from the Palestine region. And most specifically, I remember vividly your friend and mine, Minnesota Arafat's over there, having his head wrapped up with a spike out of the top of it with one of those things with that particular pattern on it.
I got the answer. It's called, and I probably pronounced this wrong, it's called a kifa, Keffieyeh. I knew there was a name to it, so I Googled it because Kyrie Irving made a statement when during one of his presses, and he was wearing one of the things. Right. But there is an affiliation though with that.
Okay, that's what I was asking. All right, let's continue.
Officials have described the current situation there, these demonstrations, these protests they are looking at as, quote, anti-Semitic in nature. I want to get your thoughts.
I completely agree with that. When you chant Intifada Revolution and from the water to the water, Palestine will be Arab, I see that as calls for violence against Jewish people, and that's anti-Semitic. And in addition to that, there were many anti-Semitic acts by these protesters, and people try to say that it didn't happen, and I definitely think this is like just anti-Semitism.
Now, there are some Jewish students who have actually taken part in the protests, the demonstrations on campus. What do you say to those students?
I think everyone has a right to protest, and I think it's very important to, keep that right. But I do think there is a way to do this, and when it infringes upon other students and other people's rights, it's just not the way to do it. And I think it's very wrong that they're denying that there's anti-Semitism on campus, because just because they're not experiencing it does not mean that other students are not experiencing it.
And I want to get your take on this as well. Do you feel that Columbia University, the leadership there, is doing enough to keep the students, the Jewish students, safe right now?
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. What
kind of a question is that?
What kind of question is what, B?
Do you think Columbia University is doing all they can do? How stupid do you have to be to ask a question like that when you're looking at things that are happening? They haven't been doing jack shit.
He's trying
They
to
have not
invoke
been
a
doing a
response.
damn thing.
Mr. B is trying to invoke a response from the girl. That's how journalists do it. That's how the interviews go. He's just trying to get a response. They're looking for a key thing, bro. Calm down.
Let's finish more.
Yeah, this is Fox too.
Well, he's saying the way he sees it as well. So
kept giving us false promises. They keep saying that they're going to do stuff and then just not doing anything. And what happened on campus last night was inevitable with what they did, with the lack of response by the university. And I would just say, like,
good video, Blaze.
Like, they need to get a hold of this situation and put an end to it.
Kaya, thank you so much for taking the time to join us here and share some perspective. Is there anything else you want to add about any of this before?
Yeah, okay, that's not becoming a thing now, right? There's two of them right there. Now here's another symbol that I've already seen about 3 or 4 times on their backs with some of these that wear that.
Did you research it, Blaze?
No, I'm stating it right now. When I didn't watch this video to the end. I just scanned through it.
Right.
I've seen that symbol again when I started seeing the clots around the heads, and then there was a few others on another, video I was checking out. Then I happened to see that symbol on the back. So, again,
before I let you go,
I just would like to be a normal student and get back onto campus. And I think that this all should end very soon, because this is just, it's a very terrible environment to learn.
Guys, what is the purpose of this? What is the purpose of the video's done, guys? What's the purpose of barricading these doors? What's the purpose?
To just cause disruption, but other than that, there's no purpose. They're no different than the terrorist groups that, like Mr. B said, they need to be dealt with accordingly. Stop being nice. There's got to be accountability, just like I give New York the governor. There's got to be accountability. You can't go and just take over buildings through fear and intimidation. And just know, your protest goes nowhere at that point. It's over. You're no longer protesting.
Go ahead, B.
The one good thing that I can say about all this is that finally news has been coming out that there are some, I believe it was Yale University. I'm not certain I'm not absolutely certain, but I believe it was Yale University that came out and said that these people, now that they're involved in doing these things, any of these people that are caught doing it, they're not going to be suspended. They're going to be expelled. It's about freaking time somebody got off their ass and started making the right decisions. Anybody involved in this stuff, everybody is there. They're paying $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year for what? For classrooms they can't even get to. They're paying for housing and meals that they cannot take benefit of. Why? Because these moronic idiots who want to play like they're having some kind of an Islamic jihad thing going on or whatever, and cry to their victims when they're over here doing a lot of nothing. They need to be dealt with. They need to be swept out with a big broom and shoved back to wherever they came from. Anybody who takes up with these people, same thing. I don't care if they're American citizens. You take up with terrorists, you go with the terrorists. Deport them.
Well, I don't think that we're saying that they're terrorists, B. I mean, yeah, we're not saying that they're terrorists, but I don't know. Look, for me, it's California, number one. Number two, they just, California allows this stuff to just happen. It's okay. What do you think the conversation in the room with the authorities, Donald, the mayor, the chief of police, the commanders of the areas type of things. Donald, what do you think that discussion is like right now? Don't touch them, don't do nothing. What?
It's keep it peaceful until it goes sideways, and then you arrest people. I mean, I don't know. It all depends on what state they're from. Go ahead, Demus.
No, I'll answer that. Yeah, exactly, Donnie. What political leaning your state is? Your red state, you get gassed. We saw that in UT Austin. You're from a blue state in Columbia, which is New York. You get fucking waffles and chicken in the morning. I don't fucking know, but they don't fuck with them. And up down here in Texas, they don't play that shit.
Yeah.
And y'all can Google it. Are we going to get off this subject, Blaze? Because I'd like to close with a history that I took part in, that we should all look at this real closely.
Yeah, we're going to close it out before we go to a quick break. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to bring up history. I believe it was May 1969 or 1970, Kent State.
Yep.
They shot 28 National Guardsmen shot into the crowd. They were protesting anti-war shit with Vietnam. Okay, so from 1970, I want to go to 85. 1985, I was stationed in Germany, and there was a Red Wing faction group. They were terrorists, and they were out to kill American soldiers. One case in point that rings a bell to me is my last year in Germany, reading the Stars and Stripes, and a soldier got killed in Germany in Wiesbaden, and he was from Fall River. His name was Edward Pimento, and his birthday was January 1965. So what am I getting to? You think the TSA is bad in the airport? Wait till the airports look like Germany and the overseas airports, especially in Europe, where you have a dog and a police officer with an Uzi, not tolerating no bullshit. Lockerbie, Scotland, that's another one that should ring the bell. You know, the Europeans were dealing with it, and what my concern is that we're going to have a terroristic shift to the United States, and they're already letting the doors open for them. So just behoove, Americans, behoove. That's it, Blaze.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, listen, we'll be back in about a minute and a half. We're just going to run a quick ad, a little comeback song, and we will be back. When we come back, ladies and gentlemen, we will be discussing the Stormy Daniels and ex-President Trump. Is all of this a witch hunt, ladies and gentlemen? So, we'll just take it from there. See what happens, folks.
Why do you believe what you believe? Because at some point in your life, you trusted the information that somebody was giving you. And that someone you trusted told you that a car was a car, a tree was a tree, a bird was a bird, the blue stuff above you is the sky. And that's the way that we began to determine what we believe to be a fact. Most of the things that we believe to be a fact in our lives are told to us through our stories or the news that we hear. So my question would be, if they were deceiving you with the stories they tell you, would you be able to recognize that?
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to The Way We See It. It is Tuesday night, And we are on the FFN network. It's 4/30/2024. And I would like to take that wherever that's coming from. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. We're going to talk about the Stormy Daniels and President Trump, everything that's been going on. Is this a witch hunt, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, what are your thoughts about it? You can give us a call at 508-974-4231. Again, that number is 508-974-4231. Now, if you got any ideas or something you might want the show to talk about, you could also email us at ffnnetwork9@gmail.com. That is ffnnetwork9@gmail.com. Again, Stormy Daniels case with Trump. B, would you like to open with that?
You got it muted?
There we go. All right. Yeah, I get John again. We're good. All right. Stormy Daniels. Yeah. Everything that the government keeps saying was illegal for Mr. Trump to do has been things that have been done for God knows how many hundreds of years here in the United States having to do with elections. Somebody finds something that they don't want to get out, well, they pay to cover it up. Has it ever been said that it's illegal? No. Where's the money come from? Nobody gives a fiddler's fart. And there are so many different things that have happened that they've said is illegal, but unfortunately, they've been done by so many others, and it's never been prosecuted. Why? Because it's not illegal on the books. This is all nothing more than something to take and try and retard President Trump's advancement in the polls and eventually election or re-election to the office of president. And that's all that this is. Once this one's done, they're going to have another trial and another trial, and then sort of come out with some other kind of stupid, trumped-up charges, and it's all meant just to keep him knuckled down.
D?
Yes, sir. Man, Stormy Daniels and Mr. Donald Trump together in a room. That's all I'm going to say there.
Is that KISSING?
It's about time you catching on, boys.
Trigonometry, FUCKING.
No, but this case is too. It shouldn't be tried. If it's going to be tried, it should have went against the Federal Elections Commission, correct? Because supposedly there was campaign money. But I want to back up. Steve Cohen, he was representing Donald Trump during this saga with the hush monies on the NDA. Shouldn't he be the one to be on the witness stand? Trump paid him for his legal duties. Help me out, guys.
Trump paid him for his legal duties.
Yeah,
Donald jumping on this.
What you're saying is he paid him for legal fees because, according to the other Stormy Daniels lawyer person, that Cohen paid the 130 to keep the story down, which Biden does the same thing. The Inquirer guy said the same thing about all kinds of other celebrities and stuff. All kinds of politicians, they buy negative stories to keep them out the press.
Well, Donald, if I can just jump in real quick. We have a viewer that just commented. It says, Colombia is getting ready to be raided. Go ahead, Donald.
Colombia is probably going to get raided by the FBI or some kind of legal team, SWAT. Somebody fixing to go in there real soon, because I don't see anybody, the big endowments, and when that big money for that investment money they keep talking about, when they start pulling out of Columbia University, there's going to be some people go in there and get it handled real fast. We all know that. So the color green dictates that. But back to the hush money thing. Cohen paid the other lawyer to hush it up. So yes, okay, of course, he needs to pay him. If you paid him with his own, I mean, he paid his lawyer. What's the problem?
Right.
I think it's more of you're just pissed off because you're finding shit once again to go after his ass for and keep him there. The only problem I have with the trial is I think Jerk's gonna end up in jail because he can't keep his fucking mouth shut.
Well, he got fined some chump change, $9,000.
Whatever. He's not gonna keep
$9,000 is shoe polish money for Donald Trump.
No, it's about a sale of 100 LeBron James Bibles.
No, but
okay, gentlemen.
What happened to the NBA?
Okay, gentlemen, we do have some breaking news. I'm sorry, guys. We do have some breaking news. They are preparing to raid Columbia University in New York City. They are preparing. They are prepping, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
And I'd like to thank the commenter, John
Lees.
Thanks, John Lees. And we got that right now for everyone that's watching.
I can get that done. I can get it done with half the manpower with a bunch of rednecks and a couple of Ford pickups.
And front end loaders.
Money.
Definitely front end loaders.
Yep.
So what are we doing? Are we putting a snow plow on them and we're just plowing through to get the kids off the lawn? What? Or does somebody need to explain to, again, half these students, okay? And I kick myself in the ass, ladies and gentlemen, to be honest with you, and I apologize because it's shitty producing on my part. I did have the study in my hand. I didn't finish the work on it, and I apologize for that. I really do, because I have some students, local news, like our local news here in Massachusetts, okay? They're at Brown University, and not once yet have I heard a reporter ask this question, that this young girl, probably just starting her career on a local news channel, ask one of the students, and she comes out of her mouth and she says, so, what would be your demands to get rid of some of the hostages in Hamas? And he totally ducked the question and said, I don't remember exactly what he says, guys, but he was like, it was an improper question for her to answer. Donald?
Yeah, that's improper because is he trying to pull the whole, it's a female and you're talking to a male thing? That's an Arab thing at times, a masculinity thing, but
right.
No, it's because, like you said, half to 3/4 of them, they don't even know why they're protesting. They're there because they're mad about something totally different, and they just want to rage, and they just want to lash out.
Just want to get to your war history. I'm looking at these mighty fine Americans, law enforcement officers, getting ready with their batons and their riot shields. Did you ever get to do that?
No.
I did in Bosnia. I wasn't in the front line. I was senior NCO then. We don't get our hands dirty, but you can feel the heartbeat of one person because you're touching and you just pound, boom, boom, because it's a beat. You try to intimidate when you're going. That's just that little war history.
Right. That's exactly what they do. That's a good point, D.
Yeah,
because that's why when you hear them, it'll be like,
That we did that. Wait, location was Bosnia, Camp McGovern.
I don't know what would.
I remember a story my father telling me back in the early 70s when they had the race riots and things and so forth. What went on in Hartford, Connecticut? There was one section of Hartford, Connecticut, which was the Italian section, and there were race riots that were going on, and in areas that were black and Puerto Rican. Separated, white areas and so forth. And these things were going, but they hadn't really gone into the Italian area. And the Italian people had done was there were a bunch of big, when it all started, a bunch of big dump trucks, a tandem axle and triaxle dump trucks that rolled up. And this brought in load after load of old bricks and rocks and dumped them into the middle of the street and made piles of them. And the Italian people got out, the men got out, stood up on the piles of these bricks picked up a brick in one hand and went like this to the other one, said, come on, let's go, you gotta come. The race riot area stopped about 2 blocks away from the Italian neighborhood, but in the areas that were stuck with people that were holed up in the buildings and so forth, the police departments back then said, you know what, we're not going to put up with this crap anymore. And they got a line, an entire straight line that went from one edge of the straight curb to the other and walking up. And as things went on, if something happened, when someone say on the right side of the building did something, hung out a window, started doing something, they just unloaded. They shot the shotgun.
I'm sorry, Mr. B. We have a little bit of audio now. Let's take a quick listen.
Like the stream, share it. I have a feeling it's going to get really ugly today. So make sure you are sharing and spreading the word on what's happening here at Columbia University in New York City.
Free TikTok.
Okay, so this is where it's going to get fucked up is when everybody spreads the word and they have different opinions.
I'm sorry, Donald. Go ahead.
No, the situation is going to get worse when everybody spreads the word, like he says, and they have different opinions and the media starts pushing their own agendas. That's just going to make it worse because everybody's going to be confused. And
I firmly believe what needs to happen is they can shut down everything. Don't start showing stuff like this to all of the people. Why? Because then all of the bleeding hearts are going to go on.
No,
oh, well,
B, you
the
can't
police are
do
beating
that.
up people.
What's wrong
oh,
with you? So
you're
you're
doing
saying
this. Oh, the police are doing that. Bullshit. Let the
B,
police and the National Guard go in and do what needs to be done, clean it out, and get it over with.
Yeah. So B, if you was in charge, right, that's the way you would handle it.
That's exactly what I would do.
Hey, B.
Not the right
hey,
way.
B. You made a comment about the Italians and all this other stuff.
Yep.
About cultural protection. It does happen up there, Donnie.
it happens in other places too. They just say something else.
But shit, man. Oh shit, Blaze. Hit it, man. I'm lost.
Look, if you really want to go anywhere with it, and Mr. B, I believe your approach is right, but I believe what needs to come out of these law enforcement officials is they broke the law by doing such, and such. They're arrested for breaking the law by doing such, and such. We're not arresting them for protesting at all. But I haven't heard not one fucking person say that. I think that would go a long way. Like, I'm arresting your ass because you were told to leave. You're not leaving. You're trespassing. You refused to leave, so I'm going to take your ass to jail. And you tore that shit up, so now I'm going to get destruction of property on your ass.
Right.
Yeah, the damage to the property. How about the threatening and intimidation of people?
Not just another charge to throw on top of it, but go take their ass out of there and be done with it. Instead of precedent that says, hey, you can't come and do this shit and just think you get away with it.
And if they're here, from another country on a student visa, rescind the visa and out the door.
Yeah, but because B, you can't handle things that way, okay? Because then when things get when things get disrupted, Mr. B, then who's going to be at the blame? Oh, that's all you're going to hear. Did the police rush in? Did the police do this right away? Oh, did this do this right away? Go ahead,
I think it's plainly evident that the police haven't rushed in at this point.
I just think your tactics are like, a little bit too much. This isn't the 60s, you know what I mean? Where, cops, you didn't have no control over the police and they were animals and they went in there and they just bully clubbed everybody and just
Which is
started
exactly what needs
heads.
to happen.
Go ahead, D.
Yeah, man. No, B made a comment. There was 2 points I wanted to hit. That with the Italians, how they protected their land, and 2, the term you used for the riots, race riots. That's what they were called.
Exactly.
So, no, but hold up, man. So would we call this a religious riots now? And I think religious riots just take it to a different level.
No, this is terrorism. This isn't riots.
But look what's being discussed here. Look at the headgear. Look who they're supporting.
Terrorists.
Well, for some
they
reason,
are supporting terrorists that slit people's throats, cut babies out of pregnant women's bodies alive, and threw them into the ovens.
This is not the people that are on campus right now. Okay, these people are not cutting people out of anybody's belly.
No, but they're supporting them.
Because I don't think that they truly understand what the fuck they're supporting. I really don't. Go, Don.
Go ahead, Demas, and I'll go after you.
No, I do think they know what they're supporting and how wrong they are. You can't tell me they don't remember October 7th. They won't talk about it, but we're equating to numbers now, okay? And I hate to put a fucking number on a human, but the government does it to it, so fuck it, here I go. I think 1,200 were killed during the October 7th raid on Israel. In Israel, they just multiplied, what was it, the latest count, 30,000?
Out of which, how many are combatants and how many were...
I don't know their numbers, but one point I just saw, I saw it today. You don't know if I ever will, man. You know,
All right, guys, we got some more audio. Okay, anybody want to explain or have an idea? I know you do, D, and you jump right in, brother. Go.
Yes, because I just want to get back on B that I never will. No, I guess I never will, B. I'll never get it. I wore the uniform for a while, so that First Amendment that they're doing right now, banging on the pan, that makes my heart warm. Because if it wasn't for guys like myself and others, we wouldn't have this amendment. And I've been to other countries where this speech ain't allowed. Do I agree that they should all be gone and stuff? Yes, B. And I just wanted to make it clear, man. I don't think I'll ever get it.
Donald?
I think the part that I don't understand is we're not talking about how the Palestinian people, what was it, in the 80s or the 40s, 1940s or 1980s? I can't remember the last three was. They elected this Iranian-backed terrorist group as their leadership. This is what it's supposed to be. And for how many decades have they been bombing and terrorizing Israel? We don't talk about that, but that's the narrative. And if you really want to understand it, half of these protests, to me, you're just displaying the hate you have for Jewish people and the country of Israel. You're just displaying the same hate that you say that the U.S. has done or that Israel's doing. You're doing the same shit. So you're just a hypocrite. But none of us talk about how Israel has to defend themselves as a nation. At some point, you cannot keep getting terrorized and figure that it's okay. The same revolution they're wanting, well, Israel might be doing theirs. And if you want to call it genocide, call it genocide. But I'll be damned if I'm going to sit here and negotiate with people who have knowingly deceived me before. Fuck that. Your ass is dead. I'm going to solve the problem permanently. Because let's understand something. Let me ask you guys this. When people cannot or they refuse to be a productive member of society, why should society deal with them anymore? Society should rid the problem permanently. Yes or no?
Hey, silence is concurrence, man.
If you're waiting for an argument from me, you're not going to get it. I'm in total agreement with you, Donald.
Come on. You cannot expect Israel to stand here and do this. And for these kids and these adults, these young adults, I'm going to say kids, these young adults, grown-ass adults who make their own grown-ass decisions to sit here and think they're going to chant and be destructive, and a university or somebody else is going to say, oh, I won't invest no more. I'm sorry. the weapons makers made me billions, but I'm gonna walk away. Bullshit. I gotta look at you like, throw my way, I'll get my billions. Fuck off.
But so the conservatives look at the table, the peace table, and damn Hamas is sitting at the table with Blinken there. What message does that send? Oh, yes, Donnie, the latest peace talks. The latest fucking peace talks. Yep. They're still there.
Yep.
No, B.
Somebody refresh my memory, but Hamas is the elected government, the elected leadership of Palestinian nation.
Absolutely.
You predicted this. You have your president, but he answers to Hamas. So who are you going to negotiate with if you're not going to negotiate directly with the people you have a problem with? I'm confused.
B?
Well,
let's try not to, beat and slay all the college students on the property.
No, just pack them up into a C5, fly over some sand over there, whatever else, open up the back of it, and shove them out at 20,000 feet.
No, my goodness.
Problem done.
Damn.
Can't do that.
You know what? My tolerance for this bullshit is at an end. This is the United States. This isn't some pile of sand somewhere. Okay, you know, all they've done is after Yasser Arafat was gone, someone else picked up the torch and ran with it. And they've lived this way all this time, and they seem bound and determined. Their own neighbors don't want to let them in over their borders. What is this telling you? I mean, how blind do we have to be allowing these people to come to our nation, do this shit, knowing full well that Egypt don't want them to cross their border, Jordan don't want them to cross their border, they don't want them there. Why? Because they know what these people are like.
D?
Yes. No, I concur with Mr. B and Donnie, but I just get back to that point. And the Muslim nations around there are using it, Donnie. You can't simulate in my country. I don't want you here. Exactly. You just made that point, and B was talking, and I was like, yep, I made the connection.
Exactly. You go to another country, you adapt to their norms and their way of life, or they tell you they bounce your ass out. Society will bounce your ass out.
Unless you go under Unless you go under a SOFA, and a SOFA stands for Status of Forces Agreement.
Right, but when you're in a SOFA, that means you're some kind of probably training, military, whatever. That's restricted for things. I'm just talking in general as a person, a normal citizen. I go somewhere else, I gotta adapt to their norms, their society, or they're gonna go ahead and exit my ass right on out of there. It's just a way. It's a process. It's a natural human process. That's why people don't understand. Israel's not going to put up with this shit anymore. So your protest goes nowhere. It does nothing. If you want to just filling in about it, we can keep letting shit like this happen, and all them little terrorists will come right in here. And how they live in the Middle East every day, worried about if that dead dog has got a bomb in it or not. You're going to do the same shit here in the United States. Major cities, watch out. Trash, not so sure it's trash.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you see here on your top left-hand screen is a live video of, you don't see any, well, there's a few law enforcement right there down to there, but there was a lot of law enforcement, and the caption is "Breaking Police Raiding Columbia University. Students Gaza Protest in Camp." And I'd like to thank again John Lees for letting us know that right here. Go ahead, D.
No, man. Do you need to pay bills, or are we still going to chat?
Well, you got a minute or so to do that, man.
Okay, B, you got something.
I just want to recap. And the last time that there was a major square off of this nature, it wound up being National Guard 4 Kent State Zip. And if things continue on this way, I really think that the law enforcement's going to go get inside this building, and you're going to see one hell of a bloody clash. This is not going to end well. And thank God for it, because it needs to happen. Get it over with.
I disagree with it, B.
Yeah,
I disagree
B.
with it all. I think violence, I disagree. Okay,
Hey.
going in there, B, and busting heads isn't the fucking answer. That's
Well,
not the
what-
answer.
so
These kids
is-
are got to be taught, and if some of them don't know what the fuck they're doing out there, and they're just being out there just to be out there.
If you do it right, it'll
Donald,
give them a chance to think twice about pulling this
B,
shit again.
Donald's up. Go.
Mr. B is correct. If you do it right, I agree with Blaze. You can't go in there busting heads, but let's understand the ease and access to weapons nowadays, and all this stuff. They went and got that building. What they do inside that building? We've been watching them. Do we know? Because it's real easy. Ghost guns. So if it turns violent like that, at that point, I don't blame the cops if they just mow it down. Just saying.
Well, I don't know what that means by the ghost guns, but we will touch base on that, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back in about 2 minutes or so. We're going to pay a quick bill here and there, and we will be back, ladies and gentlemen. We will stay with this live programming for the remainder of the night until something happens. And when we come back, we will continue with the Donald Trump Stormy Daniels trial. Ladies and gentlemen, stick around for more the way we see it right here on the FFN network.
Why do you believe what you believe? Because at some point in your life, you trusted the information that somebody was giving you. And that someone you trusted told you that a car was a car, a tree was a tree, a bird was a bird, the blue stuff above you is the sky. And that's the way that we began to determine what we believe to be a fact. Most of the things that we believe to be a fact in our lives are told to us through our stories or the news that we hear. So my question would be, if they were deceiving you with the stories they tell you, would you be able to recognize that?
That's all, folks.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for sticking around of more the way we see it with yours truly, Blazeman, Mr. D to my right. To my bottom left is Mr. Donald, and to the right of him is Mr. B. Donald wanted to just touch a little bit more base, and I'm fine with it because we got something live going on. But Donald just has a few more things he'd like to add to the Columbia University store. Sorry, go ahead, buddy.
No, I was just saying, watch out for an IED. It don't take much to make a bomb. A couple of cell phones, some C4, some common shit you get in Walmart, dollar store. Be very careful for those, right? Because that's going to come to our doorstep very soon.
Donald, you just kicked the door down to something. Go ahead, D.
No, and Donnie speaks more from experience than I do when it comes to IEDs. But you made a comment, and you were a little. I think we talked over you, and you're so right. Weapons are very easy to get, and especially them ghost guns. All you need is a 3D printer. That's all you need. no serial numbers when they produce it.
Yep.
Out of a hard plastic. And what kills me on this is we're gonna have to see something like that to stop it. Why don't we just prevent it, clear it up, and let's go tomorrow? And I yield.
Well, that's what we talked about, right? That's what we talked about on last week's show. You can catch all our shows, ladies and gentlemen, on YouTube, Facebook, X, Twitter. I'm sorry, Twitter, X. I meant to say Twitch, and so on. Anyways, getting in here, and we talked about this on last week's show about if there is some terrorist cells. Okay, let's be honest. If there are, there's some in New York. Okay, if somebody in a terrorist organization wanted to create havoc and murder a lot of people, at this point in time, blending into this mess is extremely easy for them to do. Donald?
No, I was gonna say, you don't say if. It's already there. Columbia. There was articles I was reading, Columbia University area, some of the stuff at UCLA out west and up in the Oregon, Washington area, some of the other protests. They already know. There are people there that are not students and they're affiliated and they're there protesting, helping out, is what they say. So I'm pretty sure that's some of your little groups right there, because a lot of the same verbiage that's being spoken at these protests is the same verbiage that's spoken in the Middle East when they're protesting at U.S. military bases and a lot of other shit. So there's people there already influencing, putting input. But back to Stormy Daniels. Didn't we all forget that she signed an NDA? Did she not?
Well, let's hold on.
Well, y'all sit there with nothing. You said nothing. Y'all just sitting there.
Does anybody want to, rebuttal that? Anybody want to get talk about that, or
how big was the bed, the room?
I mean, we're not going to be laughing here, Mr. D. In 2 hours from now, we have a live shot and we go live because some moron, had a cooker pressure thing there with nails in it, and the same thing with the Boston bombing. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So,
what bothers me, please,
go ahead, B.
is you thinking so small here. Do you realize that we have seen the precursor, if you will, the dry run for what these people really are planning on doing? These things where they stopped up the traffic on the bridge, and there were thousands of people, and all they need to do is have one nice big fat, or maybe a host of big fat truck bombs, drive up on the other way, park, and let go. And you've got people killed by the thousands. And this is exactly what these people want to do. Don't think for a minute that I don't know what I'm talking about, because I can see it happening.
Mr. B, if they're going to use truck bombs, they'd go into a more denser urban area. They wouldn't do it out there on the middle of a bridge. No. And if they're going to do it on a bridge, they're going to do it on a bridge that's a waterway or something that causes other damage than just human life.
Yeah, well,
that's the playbook.
Do you remember a couple weeks ago when they stopped up all the traffic on the Brooklyn Bridge?
Yes, I know.
Yes, there you go. There's waterway, and you take out the Brooklyn Bridge, what happens?
Okay, a lot of people can't get back and forth. But what I mean by that's a play in the playbook. Let me see what happens. That's a good place for a martyr to go ahead and do their thing. Bridge, something like that.
Front step, hooked.
Right?
But the boys were marching.
A truck, a VBED, basically, vehicle-bound IED is basically what you're talking about. You're going to use something like that. You're going to go and do that on a bridge, or you're going to do it in the urban area, like the one that got tipped over on our fob when they killed him over. The dude had a cargo truck, and he had the sides quarter-inch steel welded out, just tack welded, cylinders all full of C4 and all kinds of other shit in there. So that way, when the bomb exploded, that big old 8x8 feet of, or 8x4, 8x5 feet of quarter-inch steel just come blazing at you.
Excuse me, Hasty, take a look at the live feed now, real quick. What they were just showing. All of those police officers, sort of like dressed, if you will, equally spaced and so forth, does that tell you that something big is coming down the pike? The way that they had those police officers all lined up like that?
That's standard riot procedures, probably. They're expecting to go in there and get and receive violence. They're not going there for, oh, we're going to try to talk to you again. That shit ain't happening. I think that's gone. We're going in there to clear you out of the building. If you leave peacefully, you won't be hurt. If you don't leave, you're going to get arrested. And if we have to club you down and cuff you up, we're going to club you down and cuff you up. That's what that formation tells me.
Do you think that there's going to be a warning like that again, or are they just going to go and do it?
What do you mean warning?
But do you think they're going to say, no, we're going to give you one last chance to get out, or?
Oh, of course there will be. They're going to say that, and they're having on videos. Yeah, of course
they can't just drive the snowplow and fucking knock them all down, B. You know what I mean? You got to let them know that they're coming.
That's what they should have.
That's what they've been told and told and told and told. Why would they have to be told again?
Well, because the university is now saying, okay, to take action. The university was undecided. And you know what? And there's 59 other colleges that are doing the same shit, B.
I know. And it's
59.
stupid.
Okay.
You know what I'm looking at? The video is the traffic, how they're going to, because I know they're going to have the transport.
That's what you're getting out of this? The traffic.
Yeah, the traffic, Blaze. Because you want to grab them and get them out of there as fast as you can, fool.
Exactly. Oh, I'm sure they got lanes open, man. I'm sure.
No, but you got to have.
They got this whole road blocked off. It's all closed.
Man,
Let's
go
see
smoke.
If there's some audio, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if there's some
Yep, we're the audio, Blaze.
Was he on this side of me? I was too busy looking at things.
Okay, just the gentleman that's doing it, and it doesn't. I guess Coop, C-O-U-P, is the name of this gentleman that's doing this, and I'd like to thank him, man. He's just like live. He's just walking around live. That's cool. I appreciate that. Go ahead, B.
No, I mean, it would be ideal if they did things right. You remember that movie Soylent Green? They had those trucks that were just scooping up people and throwing them in these big, like, garbage dumpsters or whatever else. It would be perfect if they had something that would be like that. They could clear these people out of the streets. One and done, so to speak. Owen, one big sweep, get it done and over with. Enough of this crap.
Right.
Okay, so all the universities are setting one big example, saying, "Okay, enough's enough. We played with you long enough." I don't understand what.
So is this going to be? Is this going to be the example school for all the other schools? In other words, the word's going to get out. Listen, your school's next. This is how they're going to take you out. Watch the Columbia video.
Guys, this is just a product. You're seeing the product of what these universities put out, man. This is showing me the product we are putting in these universities, man.
That is true. People.
But Blazeman said, "Well, Donnie, who do you think's around the table talking about this and stuff?" I'll tell you one group that's already talked and has laid the plan is all these professors and all these other chancellors of these universities. They're all on their email.
They're all on their email.
100% right. They're on their emails. They're on their phones, blowing it up like it's like just like that's the NFL draft right here. They're busy as shit.
No,
they're trying to figure out how we're gonna pick up policies so we don't have this shit again. You better believe they're looking at things
more policy. I mean, come on.
Most of them don't give a fiddler's fuck because they're tenured.
Not all, but the ones that are
big, got a university.
What's that?
Tenure don't mean shit when you ain't got a university to teach at. What are you gonna do? You gonna go online?
They got their contracts. Donnie. They're gonna get their paychecks whether they go there or not.
Touche, Donnie.
No, I think all them chancellors and all them regents and all them other people, Them professors are in there screaming with their little unions or whatever groups talking about, hey, we need more protection. Oh, no, we can't be having these students going off what they did this. Were they going to go crazy in class? No, they don't want that. And you know damn well all them, what they call them, donors to the universities, they ain't trying to get some of them like over here, UT donors. Oh, they were quick to say, don't let that shit happen here. That's why they got
Hey, we want to hear this snowflake real quick.
What? They all.
Hello?
By who? My commanding officer.
Okay, who's that?
He's down that way.
I need to get inside. I need to get inside my dorm room for medication. Yeah, that's fine.
Call an ambulance.
Medication, and my leg is swollen. I can show you my leg. So when is that going to be?
It will not be for long, but I can tell you for right now it's closed.
10, 15, 20.
Your leg is swollen, you want your medication? Well, ask a Hamas to get it for you.
Right, which is why I should just have access now. So
I need to speak with NYPD Legal, or whoever's your commanding officer.
When you ran into them before, did you get a number from
Did I get a number?
I know you were looking
a phone number? No, why would I have a phone number if they're right here?
You sound like
There you go. They're getting agitated just over him. You know, the officer's doing his job. He was told by his superior, don't let anybody fucking in here, go to their dorm or whatever. Now, he's trying to give them as much information as possible. You feel bad for the young guy. You know, his legs hurting him, whatever. He's got medication, all of those things to that nature, okay? But now it's going to escalate because you can hear them swearing in the background.
So let's talk about good leadership. And a good leader would grab one of his little peons and say, hey, escort this person to get their medication and come back. That is a good leader. That is what's missing. That's what people do in the military.
That's what's
they make their decisions.
Tonight, right? That's what's fucking. Holy shit! There's two. This is the first show we had two.
I totally agree with you.
You know, D. Man.
No, you silenced that real quick.
But D, you're not. What you're discounting is the fact that this cop probably went to the same institution where he learned to not think for himself.
Why do you gotta tear everybody down?
He's about in his 40s. He's a white shirt, so that makes him probably a lieutenant. You know,
right? A career officer. Well, if he's a lieutenant, then he doesn't need to talk to anybody. But like you said, get one of the walk and beat officers, escort this person to the dorm and come back. If he's a lieutenant, I don't know the insignias in New York, so I don't know.
I know if he's a white shirt, he's an officer. I couldn't tell you what his rank is.
Looks like there's a stripe on his epaulette. Looks like it's a lieutenant stripe.
Okay.
That was about getting on Columbia's campus, like inside their gates. But this is not inside their gates. This is your making.
So they are.
There's the woman police officer. She just got brought into the line.
Why?
Represented with the ACLU.
Why? In case
why?
one of them have to take her down. She's going to be the one that does it.
Why can't the man do it?
Oh, don't want to risk that lawsuit. Now we got touched inappropriately.
Just saying. Just saying.
I don't understand why we don't talk about this part. You know, the lieutenant is, or whatever, the officer's being awfully nice, trying to give him as much information as possible. How about you reverse the other end and maybe the guy that needs the medication say, hey, well, can someone come take me up there to get my stuff? Offer the officer or somebody else a solution instead of getting pissed off and angry. Because you can see why they're blocking it off, because they're bringing a barricade through.
But
I just want to say, somebody out there has got to have an opinion besides us. 508-974-4231. Call us. We want to hear from you.
Exactly. Give us a buzz. Again, 508-974-4231. Ask us a question. We don't care what your political angle is, whatever the situation is. Everybody will get their due diligence, and everybody will have the right amount of time to say what's on their mind. With that being said, Look, is this okay, rewinding, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to monitor the live situation in New York in Columbia University, and hopefully they don't have to move in and start dispersing the students on campus. Maybe the roundtable that I spoke about is what I meant was, do you think the mayor, police, chief of police, in the various organizations are at a table, okay, at fucking City Hall and talking about how needs to be handled? Or is Lieutenant John over here that we see on the fucking street in charge of the whole thing? I don't know.
No, there's an EOC, an emergency operations center.
All right.
Oh, don't worry about it. The mayor's probably in there too.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's his ass on the line. If they're gonna go in there and evacuate them, oh yeah, he wants it's shit, bro. He's an ex-cop.
You know what's
himself.
gonna kill us, right? Is when we put B out as a correspondent. I mean, he's gonna be in the fucking paddy wagon with the rest of them. You know that, right?
No, don't know when not to fuck with me.
Yeah.
He'll get the Goopas dump trucks, throw rocks at the corners and say,
every time he gets
remember
hot,
Anthony?
I gotta put this up. Every time he gets hot, I gotta put this up. All right, let's.
But get back to them kids. Getting back to them kids. It's what we produced in the society. It's all give me, give me, give me. Donnie, you had a good point. Hey, the kids should be reversing the psychology on the cop. They're not accustomed to doing that, bro. Everything has been handed to these fucking kids and migrants. And it's all give me, give me, give me, give me. I yield.
B.
You're absolutely right, and it's just not going to stop. And it's institutions such as this that they take and they teach the kids to embrace nothing but. I think the biggest problem that we had here in the United States in the era of us, so to speak, was when they started coming out with what they called a me generation. People started thinking about themselves. They even had advertisements for time looking out for number one. Well, if you stop looking out for number one, you start living the way people used to do, looking out for each other, taking care of your neighbors, caring about something other than your own personal self-interest. A lot of these problems wouldn't even be something that we would see. That's what I have to say about that situation.
Close out, Hayseed. You got a roll, bro.
I think there's a whole lot of 50-50 mix on what you guys say. Yes, some of it is what we've produced in our colleges and universities and as a society. Another part of that is straight infiltration and other people shooting the same propaganda that it's okay to protest and get violent. Maxine Waters back in the day, remember her? Get in their face, yell and scream. That's what you think is the answer. Well, you can clearly see that is not the answer. So, at the end of the day, we all got to try to teach better, I guess. A little bit. It's on us a little bit. 90% of society behaves. We got to police the other 10.
Donnie, I'm just gonna add on to this, and this is the real problem, is that we have a president in the White House, Joseph Biden, is more worried about a political outcome for him on the next re-election just for one fucking state, and that state is Michigan. And that's all I have. Go ahead, Donnie.
I think he's more worried about, I don't think so much about Michigan. I think his agenda is just, he's more worried about getting reelected than he is about the entire welfare of the nation that we've entrusted him to care for. I think it's more of that.
Donnie, I don't think he even comprehends the load he has on him now, bro. And I'm sorry. I think he's mentally shot, man.
Me too.
And it's, it's them advisors that, weigh on this man to tell him what to do and what not to do. Because this could all end tomorrow. tomorrow by a stroke of, yeah, it could. Yeah, it could. If he would get down as a nation, do a fucking nation call at the White House and fucking say this has got to stop, that opens the doors for police the next day to just arrest him and get rid of him.
That door's already open.
What's that, sir?
I'm in absolute agreement with you. Michigan is the big point, and Biden doesn't want to do anything that's going to piss off the people that are in tune with the squad, so to speak. Rashida Tlaib, Ileana, Omar, whatever her name is, things like that. Biden wants Michigan.
Listen,
he wants Michigan.
They're already tired of that. That whatever they call the squad, that's totally going away. Okay, it's slowly going away. Nobody cares. Okay, she's definitely not getting voted back in Michigan. Okay, so she's a bye. You know what I mean?
Who? Which one? Omar?
Yes.
Or Rashid? Which one?
I'm not sure which one is in what state. So if you could help out, that'd be great. So
yeah, one. No, there's
the skinny
two.
One. The report's the one that she had sex with her brother and stuff like that. So.
Yes, Omar.
Omar, thank you.
Yes. But no, I still think they're strong, dude. I'm strong. They do have competitors coming up on this next election cycle. And it's a 50-50.
Yeah. Oh God. Listen, hey,
it's a 50-50.
Let's just say 2% of all of these kids that are about to graduate Columbia fucking University. Let's hope to God none of them want to be political. Let's just hope to God.
No.
Okay?
You know what's going to happen is these corporate recruiters are going to be looking. They're going to shift away from these top universities, and they're just going to go more at the experience level. That's all they're going to do. They're just going to shift their focus on
at what?
Well, what do you need to go to college for? To add, subtract everything you got taught in high school, minus if you're going to become a lawyer, a dentist, a doctor. RN. Yes, you need that proper education. Everything else, when you go to your first new company, they're going to teach you their way. They ain't going to teach you what you learned in Harvard.
Oh, fuck right. Yeah.
And they need a mental mind, not a fucking thinking mind. I mean, I wouldn't say thinking mind. A narrative already over their head is like, where's my coffee? How come my phone is not here? No, motherfuckers.
Donnie, you're missing that too.
Donnie.
They're not educational places anymore. They are documentation places where you go, you pay $70,000 a year, and you walk out with a piece of paper, and the piece of paper is why people hire you. You haven't learned anything. They're still as stupid coming out as they were when they went in. I mean, you look at these things. My first wife went to that Grantham University online thing, and I couldn't believe the shit I was seeing. But she still walked out with her degree, and then she went back for a master's degree. And the woman is still as incredibly stupid as she was the day I met her.
I'm sorry.
But it's the truth.
What you talking about, Will?
Yeah, I think okay. Your opinion. Look, I went to an online school. I could tell you, did I learn a whole lot? Probably not. Did I learn some things? Yes. Did I get some other skills? Tuned in and I did that. Yeah, I could say that. I learned some things. I didn't learn a whole bunch. That's not the problem for me for college now. What is it that they're supposed to learn? What is it, the big mythical, oh, you didn't learn anything. What was it I was supposed to learn that you think I was supposed to learn? There's a lot of different ways to educate.
You know what I see a big problem, Donald, Mr. B and Blaze Man, and I speak from experience, is plagiarism. It is so easy to pass a class while you're online And all you got to do is highlight the questions, right-click, search web, and your answer is given. The answer is given.
Well, hold up.
And it was more than one course I took, man.
I know, but there goes a difference in there, because I can tell you right now, depending on what school you go to, how they double check you, that answer may be given, but you got to rephrase that, Joker. You got to put some effort into it. That's the point of half these online schools. As long as you put some effort, they give you a piece of paper. Just like Mr. said, for $1. I get it.
You know what effort I had to put in, Donnie, is to research the answer.
Exactly.
Not read the book, just research the answer.
Oh,
and I got you when it comes to, thesis and all that. Yeah, they got the spell check and, plagiarist check and all that.
Yeah.
But fuck, how did that lady at Harvard, the one that just got fired because she couldn't control the rants there at her university, how'd she make it all the way to the top? And it's big history of her plagiarizing, not only by one network, but many others.
Because of her political affiliations and because of her background. That's how she made it to the top.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, B, I'm sorry I have to interrupt you, but we got to take our final break of the evening. And we're also going to say goodbye to Donald. Donald has to take off for the rest of the evening. But you'll catch Donald with us next Tuesday on The Way We See It right here on the FFN network. Of course, you can catch us on X, formerly known as Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. I say that all the time. Anyways, Donald, it's been a pleasure, my friend.
That's all, folks.
And that's all he's got to say about that, buddy.
All right. We'll see y'all next week.
I'll see you Thursday.
Yes. See you Thursday, brother. Later.
Go do your moonshine run.
We'll see you.
All right, Donald. Peace, brother. All right. So Donald is one of our main guests here on The Way We See It. But I want to see if there's any more audio. And again, I'd like to commend this gentleman.
I did see...
I heard him speak, and he is a gentleman. And from Coop, C-O-U-P, on YouTube. So go and check out this guy's channel. Listen, I got to give him props. He's, he's doing what he's doing for us, and that's the deal there. We try to be as fair as possible here on the FFN network. So... B, what are we doing on your show tomorrow? Politicking with Mr. B right here on the FFN network. That show is from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, again on the FFN network, followed by I-12 GIA, Real Talk with Real People, from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All shows on the FFN network are Eastern Standard Time. That's why I love D. Plus, he's a brother from another mother. Donald, they all live 2 hours behind us. So they're actually sitting in their living rooms at 5 p.m. With that being said, this Columbia...
We still get more done by 9 o'clock than you Northerners do. I'm joking. I'm joking, B. I'm joking.
You see, B got excited so fast already.
Take a break, you big old boy.
What you talking about, bro?
Let's go to break and we'll be back.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's right.
Wow, you spaced out break. You spaced it up.
Wow, I forgot break.
A little less of this, a little more of this. You'll be fine.
The secretary will be leaving a note on the desk that one of our sponsors called and said we didn't run the ad. So let's go get that done. Ladies and gentlemen, stick around.
Sir.
We'll be back in another 2 minutes right here with The Way We See It right here on the FFN network.
Why do you believe what you believe? Because at some point in your life, you trusted the information that somebody was giving you. And that someone you trusted told you that a car was a car, a tree was a tree, a bird was a bird, the blue stuff above you is the sky. And that's the way that we began to determine what we believe to be a fact. Most of the things that we believe to be a fact in our lives are told to us through our stories or the news that we hear. So my question would be, if they were deceiving you with the stories they tell you, would you be able to recognize that?
Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. I am one of your hosts, Blaze Man. To my top of my right is Mr. D. Top left of me is Mr. B. So with that being said, guys, we have some action live right now, ladies and gentlemen. We have live video, breaking video from police raiding Columbia University students' Gazza protest camp. What happened right now, ladies and gentlemen, is about 6 buses show up. Police get in, do what they do, and they start loading them up. So far, from what I've seen, everything was going pretty well. But let's take a listen and a watch. I backed the video up a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. This is a live video, but I backed it up some, okay?
Told you they needed an
we were at
avenue for
break.
travel.
Yeah, we were at break.
I told you they needed an avenue for their travel.
Right. Well, yeah, that's what
For
I said. That's
statues.
why the cops blocked off that whole street. Yeah, you're right. With the liberation? What is being liberated? What are they saying that for?
There's still petitioning, if you will, for the liberation of Palestine.
Up with liberation.
So what they... I can't...
go ahead.
It's too loud.
I got you.
What they're talking about, what they're really meaning on that is they want Israel out of there. They want to take over Israel, Palestine.
Right, again, right, exactly.
From the Jordan, you ask these kids, what river are we talking about? 90% of them won't even know which one.
They won't.
And the big question is, what sea is in it? Is it the Red Sea or the...
know? The agitators. Those are the ones that will know.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm serious.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay?
I agree.
It started off with one, sitting in a class or at the cafeteria table or at the fucking library and just started bringing it up. Then you got 4 or 5 that's like, wow, yeah, ooh, liberation, da. and and so on and so on and so on, right? That's how these things are created, correct?
We're seeing it.
What is the agenda of these agitators? Is it to perpetuate war? How deeply invested are they in defense stocks and issues that have to do with weapons and so forth, production and sales and whatnot?
Exactly.
What benefit do they get? There's got to be some sort of benefit
from. Where did they get that from? Probably some Soros group that's throwing in some monies because now you got to organize. Now you got to get it's got to be organized now, right? And you get some cat like Soros or whatever. He throws in some money, some dollars, okay, and then they organize it. That's what they, that's how it's done. Let's listen to this. It's important. We don't have much time. Occupation! I lowered the volume a little bit, but I got the caption on. So. And the Zionist occupation! 1, 2, 3, 4! Zionism no more! Zionism no more. Go, D.
Okay, they're right then and there. They are advocating for the death of Israelites and Christians.
So, B, what happens there is you move the selector switch from safe to semi and just watch your lanes.
No, man. See,
but Zionism, no, because I got to loosen it up, man. That's the reason why I'm making jokes.
Who put this in these kids' minds?
Professors.
How many of them think that that they knew what this word meant before someone told them? Go, B. I know
idiots don't have an understanding. They think that they're campaigning for freedom and for world rights and for salvation and this and that. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. They have no idea that the things that they're talking about would mean the death of their friends that are gays, lesbians, this, that, whatever, Christian, Jew, whatever, unless the people assimilate to wearing that freaking towel that they have wrapped on their heads.
Exactly.
These people want you dead. They don't understand that.
Explain it again. No, they don't. They don't. Because I'll tell you right now, if there's any, gays in this group that think that they're doing the right thing, okay, by, the way they're seeing it, war's not good. I don't like war. You know what I mean? But what they don't understand, if they ever set foot on any of those lands and that culture knew that they were gay in any way, shape, or form, they would get murdered. They'd hang them off the side of a bridge, hang them anywhere for a showcase, and this is not it's not allowed here. D, you sound like you want to get in on this.
I always want to get in. It's you letting me in. I'm knocking on the door, Blaze. Let me in.
Knocking on heaven's door.
I like Guns N' Roses' interpretation of that song.
Go ahead, D.
Yeah. Use Your Illusions, one album. Zionism, man. That would be Zionism would be us, man.
Yes.
Us.
Yes.
And didn't I make comment in reference of this shit about two religions living in one land? Can't happen. It can't. They can't even.
Anyways,
they can't even do it in Iraq with the Shiites and the Sunnis.
Right.
Yep. And then you got the Kurds. And then you got the Kurds up there. They don't get along with the other two. Why do you think they could bring that here and we still be a productive country?
Well, that's what they're trying to do. Look at what they're creating. You don't think that they're happy? You don't think Hamas is enjoying every bit of what it's watching right now? Their propaganda videos are going to be, infamous. But, guys, we got to get to this. I don't want to pause it for too long.
Man.
Israel
is a fascist state. Israel is a racist state. Israel is a terrorist state.
There it is. Do you fucking see that?
Yeah. Third.
I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna make it bigger. So
he says that to all the women.
Listen. Okay, again, jokes. Israel is a terrorist state. Anybody?
Yeah, and
anybody? 508-974-4231. Anybody? Panel? Anybody? Israel is a terrorist state. That's what they're shouting.
Yep.
That's what they're shouting.
Oh, how can we prove it?
If you think for 1 minute that these people are peaceful protesters, you couldn't be more confused if you were Helen Keller trying to read a handful of bubble wrap. This is just incredible. This is just incredibly blatant, in your face. I'm waiting for somebody to pull the IED out of their backpack. Just waiting.
That's sad. That's sad. And you know something? I'm thinking the same way Mr. B is. Yep. Until somebody gets hurt, then we're going to say, okay, the fun is over. Hey, watch the cops and look at their face of just disgust.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Come on, pan the other way.
Occupation no more. 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. Israel is a racist state. Israel is a fascist state. Israel is a terrorist state. Free our prisoners, free them all.
Captions trying to get.
Zionism will fall. Free our prisoners, free them all. Free our prisoners, free them all. Zionism will fall.
No, we're not.
And you know who's running around saying all of that? Huh? The privileged little fucking blonde white girl.
You look at it that way?
No fucking clue.
No, but you look at it that way. Race, they're all idiots, man. I see all sizes, shapes, and colors.
Her right here.
Yep, the one with the sunglasses on.
Yeah.
Age. What do you think?
How
old do you think she is?
Age is. Do you think?
I do.
She looks 30. She looks 30 to me.
Okay, somebody at 30 years old is going to have a bachelor's degree already, probably out of college.
Right.
Unless she's doing a master's.
So
she should be out at 29.
Is this right? You're right, bro. You're right.
No,
30, she should definitely be out of college. Right. So is she an agitator? Someone putting something in a bank account to get her to rally up the troops?
Look at this Jewish guy, and then look at this lady. This is a lady behind him.
I don't even know what guy is a Jewish guy. What Jewish guy?
The guy interviewing him, he's a Zionist. The lady behind him.
Okay, how do you know he's a Zionist?
Yeah, she's an agitator.
The old lady in the back?
Yes, dude. She's an agitator. Before this guy interviewed this gentleman with the mask on, she was trying to get in there, and he pushed her away. Says, "I got this."
Got you. Let's see.
I don't know if she's an agitator, but I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to marry her.
Let's see. Okay, B. That's not what we're talking about.
So far away from their kids' beliefs and their thoughts that they have to set deadlines the kids are not going to listen to. They are not being listened to. Who's listening to the kids? Why are you taking it? Why are you describing it the way you're describing it? The kids have a point. Why are you not talking about that?
How long should students be able to occupy areas?
Why not? What is it? It's a very important thing that we're talking about. It's the most important issue going on in the world right now. Why shouldn't they take time and have time? And what else is going on? Do you think there's anything more important going on? Sure, they should take up the space in their university. You're joking, right? What else is more important? Why should they not take up space?
What about
this lady's alone
you
in
think
her life?
She's a hippie from the 60s?
Yeah,
Me?
Blazer. Yeah.
She's got like 9 cats in her apartment.
Yes.
You don't know that, B. You don't know that.
She's the type of lady
Better
that
not get emails this time, B.
She's probably a lady that makes pies.
She probably makes a good cobbler.
Yeah, goes right in the trash can after she leaves.
Exactly. I
don't
wonder if the
like
hubby's still around. Died of food poisoning.
No, she got a wedding band.
Yeah, also very important that people should.
You got to try to read the captions, ladies and gentlemen.
To feel safe. And why do people necessarily feel unsafe? Because people are occupying a space. That's not. Why is that making people feel unsafe?
It's not, ma'am. It's not about them occupying a space, ma'am. Okay? It's about the fact of the what's a good word? Blasphemy? No, it's not a good word. What they're saying, right? B? Are we
I wouldn't call it blasphemy. I would call it inflammatory bullshit.
All right, I got to get to where they're loading them up, guys. I mean, we're running out of time here. There it is, right here. Now we're gonna gather.
Over 30,000 dead. Colombia, your pain and bread. Over 30,000 dead. Over 30,000 dead. Over 30,000 dead. Over 30,000 dead.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's an Asian Palestinian for you, folks.
Free, free, free Palestine. Free, free Palestine. Free, free, free Palestine.
There's the buses.
But we don't have the barriers.
All our fathers, sons, and daughters. We will honor all our martyrs.
We will honor all the martyrs. I'm sorry, you're a fucking typical white, young fucking college student. Don't know this stuff. It didn't care at the time until it went to Columbia University. So who is the agitators in this university? Are there some professors that are in there that are against Jews? What?
Can I poke in here for a point?
Of course.
For a matter of fact, they keep saying, "Oh, 30,000 dead." Of the 30,000 dead that they claim are 30,000 dead, or over 30,000 dead, how many of these people were enemy combatants versus innocent civilians or whatever? 30,000 dead. Where are they? Show me 30,000 dead. Where? Where are they all? Where are all these body counts? Where?
I personally think it's hard to do a body count, knowing that Hamas they travel a lot in and out, so the numbers are always fluctuating.
Exactly.
And they do a pretty good job of keeping their numbers hidden from Israel.
Exactly. And the numbers that you're hearing, that 30,000 number is a number from Hamas. That's their count. Okay? That's their count. But listen, there are innocent people dead there. Yeah, my opinion, the way I see it, I would say about at least 25,000 civilians.
There's innocent Israelis that are dead. There's innocent Americans that are dead.
But
there's innocent people from all over the world that are dead.
25,000.
What's that?
1,225,000. Okay? And Netanyahu now
supporting
says,
and protecting
hold on,
the
please,
terrorists.
Sir. Hold on, please, sir. Netanyahu now says that even if the negotiations go well and they release some hostages, he's still going forward, okay, with the cleansing of that area.
We're not saying cleansing. This is an ethnic cleansing.
That's my word.
Yeah,
that's my word.
Well, you're using a wrong word, a very inflammatory wrong word. It is not cleansing.
The shit that's been coming out of your mouth tonight, and I say cleansing, and I'm getting the fucking 5th degree here. The bottom line is that he says he's moving forward. That's it. He's still going to continue. He's not going to stop if they release the hostage. Then what the fuck is the point, B? You got to tell me.
It needs to be done. It needs to be done.
The
world needs to know that you have to stand in the face of terrorists.
We're not getting
or they're just going to keep coming back.
Then we're not getting them back.
All right, they're starting to take students out now.
All right, here we go. They're locking them up. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is live video. It's about 5 minutes backwards because we paused it.
So like I said, they are arresting students.
They're arresting students right now. This is Columbia University, ladies and gentlemen, New York City, United States. Okay, those kerchiefs mean nothing.
Let them go! 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 Let them go!
Please, can you hit pause?
Go.
I would just like to announce the menu for tonight at the prison will be pork chops, or pork roast, or pork loin.
Okay. That's at the joint.
Yes, sir.
For those of you that don't understand, is most of them people don't eat pork, right?
Roger, please, and
Okay,
they'll be
that's
slob.
if they're locking up the Jews, though. The other ones eat pork, don't they?
No, they eat the goats after they screw them.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't
know.
know.
Sheep is different from a goat, right? You know that, B, right?
Oh yeah, I know.
Okay. Well,
one goes Bob, one goes Bob.
Yeah, you stick to screwing a goat.
Yep.
He's a low moral character.
Fuck you, pigs!
Fuck you, pigs!
Let them go! 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 Let them go!
You rebel! NYPD, go to hell! KKK, IOF, you're all the same. NYPD, KKK, IOF, you're all the same. NYPD, KKK, IOF,
I don't know if the guy that's videoing this right now is singing it along with them. If he is, then I'd say fuck him. Don't watch his YouTube channel, but just use him for now.
That breaks my heart, man. There are people saying KKK right in front of them.
Free Palestine!
Thank you, Unboxable.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is a live video of Columbia University in New York City. It is 9:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And they're locking up the streets. Trying to figure out why all of them have masks on. Because it certainly ain't a COVID.
They're trying to make it so that they can't be identified, and if they're not identified, then the university can't suspend or expel them because, oh, we don't know if this was that person or whatever. Which is a bunch of bullshit. If you're gonna do something, take ownership of it. Have the courage, have the brass tacks to show your face and say, look, I'm the one who's doing this, I'm the one who's saying this. Don't cover your face up like some pansy-ass morons.
Well, I gotta tell you, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, we're running out of time. And we will keep you up to date on what's going on at Columbia University on FFN Radio Network Facebook page, FFN Radio Network YouTube page, and FFN Network on X, formerly known as Twitter. I'd like to thank everyone who tuned in to tonight's show. I'd like to thank Mr. Donald. I'd like to thank Mr. D. Okay, and of course my boy B here, Mr. D. We're out of time, so that's why. Or maybe Mr. D showing up for the leaving remarks. Hey Brandon, thanks for popping in and Unboxed Thoughts. A little bit late though, guys, because we're about to head out. It was a fantastic show. We like to thank everybody that watched the show tonight, and I'm very, very happy with the numbers that we had tonight. I'd like to thank everybody on X who tuned into the show, everybody on YouTube, everybody on Facebook, everybody on Twitch, and all the other platforms that we're on. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to check out Politicking with Mr. B, where there could be a little bit of part 2 of Columbia University stuff. Who knows? But don't forget to tune in to Politicking with Mr. B tomorrow from 7 to 8 p.m. right here on the FFN network, ladies and gentlemen, followed by I-12 GIA Real Talk with Real People, 8 to 9 p.m. Thursday is the Miss Tammy and Blazeman show from 7 to 8 p.m. Check them out. They're dying to give away some prizes. With that being said, peace and love to each and every one of you out there, and we will go with my boy D.
Have a good night, everyone. I enjoyed myself, Blazeman, Mr. B. Thank you, guys, and thank you for the listeners and viewers. I yield.
Yeah, it was. I enjoyed every bit of it. B, you go ahead, brother.
We should have a very good show tomorrow night. I'm expecting to have a call-in guest, fellow who's a rabbi from out Midwest somewhere. I don't want to disclose everything, but if certain things develop, we will take and postpone that and deal with the more pressing imperative, so to speak, to deal with at that point. And of course, coming up right after me is going to be the I-12 GIA guys. You don't want to miss the show. And thanks for watching. And thanks, D. Has been a great show with you as well, Blazeman.
That's all, folks.
Night, everybody. Peace.
Why do you believe what you believe? Because at some point in your life, you trusted the information that somebody was giving you. And that someone you trusted told you that a car was a car, a tree was a tree, a bird was a bird, the blue stuff above you is the sky. And that's the way that we began to determine what we believe to be a fact.
You have just watched an FFN Network production.